Hey guys, Widgets World here. It is February 7th, 2020, and I'm going to give you an update here on this flu stuff real quick, and then I'll move into some other stuff. I was going to go over and do a show with Mike and Cindy over Evolutionary Energy Arts today, and I had to end up going back to the dentist. There were some shards of teeth that he wasn't able to get out and that he missed, and I had to, get that taken care of. So if I'm talking a little bit more, odd today. That's why I'm in some pretty good pain. I'm going to try to keep this as short as I can because, frankly, it does hurt to talk right now. But I'm seeing stuff that I really want to show you guys we just need to talk about it. So give me a second here. Hey, guys, we're going to do an update here on the flu numbers. I'm just going to run through this real quick because I do have a lot I really want to show you guys today on something else. We know that these numbers are not going to go down. We know this, right? They're just going to keep getting bigger. We also know that we're probably never going to know the real number of how many people are actually getting sick. And there's just so many videos out there. There's so much stuff out there. It is hard to just say, hey, these are the numbers. Even if everything was completely on the up and up, I don't think they can nail down an exact number. That's just my opinion. So you take that for whatever it's worth. But I'm going to show you these numbers real quick. Right now, it's at 31,500, roughly. People have gotten this. 639 fatalities. And you can go down through here and you can look at like I showed you guys before. So in Australia, we've had about 15 cases of those. Japan's up to 86 now. That number kind of jumped pretty big today. United States right now, officially, it's 12. So, I mean, there's really not a whole much more to talk about with this, other than there was an article yesterday. They got their first case from a newborn that was only 30 hours old, I believe, is how old when they discovered that this baby had this flu. And in other words, it didn't get it from contact outside the mother's womb. It transferred inside through the placenta. Okay, and that's unfortunate because that just adds another layer of stuff that people have to, pay attention to. But I did want to mention that. That's been on a lot of news channels. It's been on pretty much every alternative news channel, and our community here has reported on it, a bunch. So it's a big deal, when you're talking about that. Because you're talking about something that has no control over anything. It can't wash its own hands. It can't do any of that it didn't have a chance, right? You know what I mean? And this is why I hate talking about this. I hate this. I mean, this is so negative, but I think I say this because I want people to be aware. So I'm going to move on to the other stuff, guys. Okay, guys, I got you over at space weather here. This right here, wind speed 594. Normal would be, at the high end of normal was probably about 450 or 500. So we are elevated. We are getting more faster wind speeds right now. Okay. Now I was looking at this today, and you see this here. It says solar X-ray flux. Okay. You see this right here? I think that we may have had some sort of a flaring right there. Okay, because it says flare class and right there. So it's the solar X-ray flux bumped up, and there's got to be a reason for it, right? So it could have been an active area in the sun. If it was a flare, it was a very, very weak one, which would be an A level. You can see that right there. Okay, it's just like anything else. When you start talking about X flares, that's when we start talking about power outages. So I just wanted to show you guys that part. But this right here, geomagnetic activity level. Now, if we're going to get into storm levels, it ain't going to take us much right now. Okay, because we're here. You go up one more number, you're in the G level 1 storm. What's that mean? Well, all it means is that we'll probably see, better auroras and stuff that goes along with that. Earthquake upticks probably will happen. And I got something to talk about with that too here in a minute. But this is a sustained event so far. Okay, you can tell that this has lasted for over a day now. Okay, and I do think it's going to hang in there for about another day. That's about my opinion on this. And then it's going to drop off for a couple days and it'll probably pop right back up. I do think that's probably what's going to happen. Well, let's check in a little, see what they got to say about this. Well, they're kind of saying what I just said. If you look at this right now, let's see here. We're right here. Okay, so 2 days, a couple days, another day, day and a half, it starts dropping off, didn't it? So that's kind of what they're saying too. And it, you know, up here on the density is showing the same thing. Okay, so we are going to experience some extended periods of time of here with some solar weather, and I am seeing it on the magnetosphere tools. Now we can look at it here too, and you can see where we have the spikes. Okay, now again, electron flux. What does electron flux mean? Electron flux is simply the deviation from normal. Okay, it can deviate low or it can deviate high. Both of those give you a flux. Okay, so we can lose electrons and still be an electron flux event, or we can gain electrons and be a flux event. Okay, so that's why we pay attention to this. And if you look, you can see where I circled those. Well, look at this. I didn't even mean to do that. Wow. Okay, anyway, a little fun. Sorry. If you look, the spikes are actually coinciding with the upticks. And that happens almost every time. So, just wanted to show you guys that. Now, you guys can look at this Aurora forecast. Just hit play, guys. If you guys go over here, let's see if it'll load fast enough. We'll just watch it for a second. And then you can see, when we talk about auroras being down in mid-latitudes, some people don't know what that means. What that means, guys, is that they'll see it down closer to the equator. Okay, when we're talking about high latitudes, we're talking about up here. Even up here is kind of high. But the further north you go, and if you're in the southern hemisphere, it'd be the further south you go. So, you know, you got to keep that in mind. Because they get auroras down there too. And so, yeah. So I want to show you guys that. But I do want to show you guys some stuff that I've been catching here. Okay, guys, I got you over at Seeds. Okay. This is yesterday. This was on the 6th. Going into today, which is the 7th. And I'll show you the 7th too. We got a few captures from the 7th. But you guys see that blinking? Okay. There's an anomaly that happened on the tool. Okay. Typically, I see these kinds of anomalies, I just keep moving. Because most of the time, there's really not much to be talking about it. Because usually they're just camera flaws. Now, this one caught my eye a little funny. Because it looked, when I caught it when my first time I seen it, it looked like something flashed from the side. Okay. And keep in mind that this satellite we're looking from is about 1 million miles closer to the sun than what we are. Alright, so it's closer, way closer to us than it is to the sun. So this flash we're seeing, if it truly came from the side, this flash did not come from the sun. Okay? And now let me show you this, because I've not seen an anomaly like this on this tool ever. And I've been watching this now for 2 to 3 years. And I'm not saying that this hasn't been seen before. I've just never personally seen this particular anomaly. And what's strange about it is it's directional. It came from the side. That's what caused me to stop here. Okay? I'm gonna pause it right there. Slow it down. Okay. I'm just gonna toggle this through a little bit till we get to it. So yeah. And something else I want you to notice, right before we see this, okay, do you guys see all this debris? That's what I'm calling it debris, but it's whatever that is. It could be little itty bitty like meteorites really close to the satellite, or it could be just charged particles causing the tool to pick that up, right? So what I noticed though, is I'm gonna back it up. See, right there, you don't hardly see any of them. Okay, so you start going forward frame by frame, then you're going to see this stuff increase. You see how it increased like quite a bit just in one capture? Alright, then we keep moving on here, and then we start, this is what I've seen. Okay, I can tell you guys, honestly guys, I've never seen this. This is something that I've not seen. To me, like I said, it looks like something flashed from the side. Now, it didn't flash on the sun. Okay? This flashed where the satellite's at. And I just told you where the satellite was at. It's closer. It's close to us. It's the one I showed you guys in my previous video when I was talking about the eclipse of, was showing the eclipse. Okay. This is that same satellite. And, this is kind of nuts. I mean, look at this. This is very, very strange. Okay? And, you're looking at the black and white over there on the left. What that does sometimes when you see when it gets a big flash, because I'm going to toggle through here a little bit more, it actually puts like a ghosting on it, and I'll show you what I mean. But this over here was what was more impressive to me. Okay? That most definitely looks like we had some light blast us from the side. Okay, you can see clearly that light was coming that way, and it illuminated stuff out. Okay, and you can see that it came from the side, and then the satellite itself looks like it blocked that light from its lens. Why do I say that? Because everything over here is dark. Okay, and again, I have to say, I've never seen nothing like this one on this tool, ever. I mean, we've all seen the anomalies where they flash and they look like this. I mean, I'll draw a picture for you. They kind of look like this. Okay? And sometimes they'll have a line right down the middle. I can tell you for 100% certainty that is a tool flaw when you see that. Okay? Because we see it looks just like the internal parts of the camera. And I need to show you guys the internal parts of these cameras again. I did it a few months back. But a lot of the anomalies that we see mirror those. Okay, they look just like them. Because what's happening is they get light flooded in there, and the tool goes to take a capture, and the reflection off the tools inside of itself gets caught. Okay, that's what happens. Alright, so, but for this one, this is different. This doesn't look like any kind of innards of the tool, any of that. This is not a shutter. You know how I can tell you it's not a shutter? First off, it's sideways. Okay? Second off, it fades in and fades out. If this was a shutter, you would see a hard line. Okay? It would be like this. Just a hard line. There would be no fade there. So something happened there. Now, I don't know what it is. Okay? I've been talking about, guys, stuff hitting this directional. This would kind of lend some validity to that. So, is that what's going on here? Don't know. But I did want to show that to you guys because it's pretty crazy. Now I'm going to toggle through and I'm going to show you the ghosting. See how stuff went back to normal after that flash went away? But then you see this. Okay, that's what we call a ghosting image. Because what you're seeing there is an exact reverse of what I just showed you guys. That's just what these tools do sometimes. You'll see the initial blast and then it causes it to default back to that a little bit about a couple frames later. Okay, so that's what we're seeing because that's what that is. It doesn't get dark and light on that side again. If you were able to, just, because it takes the same shape, exact same shape. So, let's back that up a little bit. Let's take a look at that anomaly one more time. Okay, so there you go, man. I mean, that's kind of nuts in my opinion. But something else too, I'm going to take you to the next day on this, and something I noticed here. Now, this is the most current. Now, if you guys look over here on the left side, this tool is picking up a CME, and I'm seeing a CME too, okay? And I'm going to take you guys over to SDO and let you see it, because it definitely looks like a large filament released, okay? It's just now happening as I'm doing this video, so I'm not going to be able to give you, like, the full CME part of it. I went over and checked it out on Cactus. Cactus hasn't updated yet. And then tomorrow when I do my video, I'll show you guys, the full, if the data is there, I'll show you the whole thing together. But I don't think that's coming towards the Earth, so don't think that. But I'm going to take you guys over to SDO and let you guys see it. Okay, guys, I got you over to SDO. This is the 171 angstrom, okay? And it happened over here on the left side. So I want you guys to look there first. You see that? Okay, let me zoom in a little bit more. You'll see it pop off there. See how it leaves the sun like that? Okay, now let me go up here. This is going to give you an idea how big this thing was. You see how that thing is just, watch. That's pretty large, guys. You know, I can't wait to see the actual data of this once the seeds updates. It'll probably be pretty sizable. I mean, it looks like it's going to be pretty sizable. Now, judging by the angle of this and what I'm seeing right here, I don't think this is coming at the Earth. I can't tell you that for 100% certain right now until we get more data in. So I'm not going to say it's coming at the Earth. Even if it is, guys, we'll have, 3-4 days before it gets here. So, we would have some time to talk about it, is what I'm trying to say. Now, something else, guys, we're seeing activity elsewhere on the sun, too. See how that's popping off there? And again, guys, I have to reiterate, when we see stuff around the edges, you can't forget that the stuff is happening right here in the front, too. Okay? We just can't see it because the background of it is the sun. The reason why we see it on the outside edges is because the background there is space, black. It's easier for us to see. The light from the sun just drowns everything out right in the front. It does a decent job with these filters and stuff, but you just don't get the full grasp of it unless you take that into consideration. Okay, guys, this is the 304. This is the one where we can look at the actual filaments, which is what you're seeing dancing around the edges here. This is the one, we can look at this and really get a good idea of how, what's actually coming off of the sun. So we'll zoom over here where it was. Now you're seeing that it's active. Now you can clearly see when that thing went on out, it did go on out into space. Okay, that did release out. And another evidence of that is the seeds data I showed you just a minute ago. I can't wait till that updates. Now what's got me kind of wondering here is watch right in here. See how it looks like that build right back up? That's standing off the sun a pretty good distance. Okay, that's a lot of energy right there, a lot of plasma. And, when we see that kind of stuff, now watch it right here, because that right there is where it ejects. Watch. Whoa. See that? Okay. Now, something else. Look over here. Now, that may not ever do anything. We don't know. Okay? We just don't. It hasn't done anything yet. It hasn't nothing released off of that yet. And a lot of times they don't. The only time we're worried about it is when they do. We really don't even worry then, unless it's coming right at us, something really huge. But you can see, just looking around the edges of the sun here, that there are definitely a bunch of filaments dancing around. Okay, but that right there, I do believe is going to come in as a CME. Yeah, I really think I think that's what we're seeing, is what I'm trying to say. But again, given the direction of it, I don't think that it's coming at us. And it would be firing off more the direction of stereo A. Just to give you an idea. Well, I can't really do it on this red. Well, yeah, I can. Okay, the Earth would be here. The sun would be here. The satellite we're looking from is right there. Stereo A is over here. Okay, so that's kind of firing off that direction. So, but yeah. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you this magnetosphere here real quick, but I'm going to show you guys this again, just to bring you guys back to what we were seeing. Okay, now I'm going to use this to here draw you a little picture. Okay, so the Earth is here, right? The satellite that we're looking from is right here, looking at the sun. So this light came from this direction. Okay, so keeping that in mind, as you're looking at this, we'll go look at we'll see what it did to the magnetosphere. Does it show us anything? It doesn't always, and if it doesn't, then we can't really confirm anything. But if it does, then yes, we can say, hey, something was going on. Now, this is a top-down view, okay? So anything you see on the bottom is actually coming from the same direction as this. Okay, so if it's on the bottom, that means if you're looking straight at the sun, it would be coming this way. Okay, just to give you guys a reference. Now you can see how we're getting solar weather anyway. You see this, how it crimped in a little bit right there, and that's not unusual. But watch this. Okay, now the timestamp too is important. Okay, now you got 8:12 on this one. Okay, keep in mind that this is 1,000,000 miles out in front of us. That satellite is. But this one is not. The satellite this one's getting this information from is actually right here on that dotted line. Okay, it's a satellite orbit line. It's not 1,000,000 miles from us. So, but yeah. But as we're looking at this, just keep that in mind so you guys have a little bit of idea what direction I'm talking about here. So as I get closer to that timestamp, now when we start seeing this, it should be about right there, and we did. Okay. See how that crimped in real bad right there? And the other side is not doing anything. Now, let me see. Watch what else happens. See, it stays that way too. But then look at this. Okay, see how they kind of bent in there too? There's a lot of stuff happening on this side is what I'm trying to say. At the same time, we're seeing that anomaly on the other satellite. Okay? So we get that, it goes from that to that. And yeah, so, and then it goes back to symmetrical. You see that? So everything was the same at the top and the bottom. So this right here, I've been talking about directional stuff for a few days now, and this most definitely confirms that something is shooting energy that way. Off, whether it's below us and to the right or above us and to the right, I don't know. It's hard to tell. But that does look to be coming from that direction, which means that did not come from the sun. Okay? That's my main point here. That flash on that satellite right there did not come from the sun. And showing two different tools here kind of confirms that something's going on there. Okay? Now what was that? Was that I don't know, guys. I just simply don't. I mean, I've not seen this anomaly before. I've seen crimps and stuff in the bow shock. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this anomaly here. Okay? This is why I dug into this a little bit, because I'd never seen this particular anomaly directional like that. I don't think that's a tool flaw. I honestly think something, energy, whether it was light, whether it was charged particles, don't know. But it does look like something happened right there, and it came from that direction. Keep in mind, during solar, right now we are kind of it's a weaker area because of solar minimum, right? And the sun has its own electromagnetic field that stretches out around our whole solar system and protects us from stuff coming in from outside of our own solar system. So when it's weak, more things get through. Just like when our bow shock and our magnetics are weak, more stuff from the sun gets through to us. It's the same exact thing. Okay? And so yeah, I don't know what else to say about that kind of thing, man. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll go over here. We'll look at the solar wind map here. Let me refresh that real quick. So that's just a crazy picture, guys. I've never seen that anomaly before. So what we're going to look at here, guys, we're going to look at solar wind speed itself, because it did get looked like it got pretty crazy. Right here, it may not get too high. It probably get up to like 6 or 7. It might get up to 8. If it gets any higher than that, yeah, good. There was a 6. There was an 8. 843, 921. Okay. Yeah, that's fast. Okay. Gets up close to 1,000 kilometers per second. That's pretty fast. And this is why we're seeing, the KP level go up. And we were expecting this from that coronal hole. Okay. Bunches of coronal holes right in a row. One big one and then a bunch of small ones. And that's why the wind speed's staying up. Okay. It's not dropping down much. So it ain't going to take much more to bump us in the storm level. Unless we start trending down. Okay. We can start trending downward and get the speed lower. But it doesn't look like that's what's going on. It looks like everything's staying pretty consistently high right now. And this is, I would expect this. I really would. During a regular solar storm. Okay. But that anomaly, no. So yeah. So, had that CME. I'll be looking for some more data on that. And when it comes in, I'll show it to you guys. But that anomaly right there, that's crazy. Anyway, guys, God bless. Yeshua saves, and Oh yeah, pray for me for my teeth, guys. I'm hurting bad, so man, sure could use some prayers, that's for sure. God bless, Yeshua saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.